Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled 33% of women will go on dates just for the free food. And guys, this whole article is about the concept of the thing called the foodie call. Okay, that's the nickname for this, where basically women will deliberately go out on a date with a guy knowing full well he's going to take her to some place either just to get some food or actually a really expensive place if he's trying to impress her, okay? And a lot of guys fall for this, okay? A lot of younger guys that don't know any better. So this is why I'm talking about this here. And I've mentioned before lots of times in other videos about how basically first date guys, one drink only. That's it. Don't complicate things. And I've done a whole video about something similar to this, about the foodie call thing, women using guys for free food. But it's been several months and my subscribers have pretty much doubled since I've done it last. So it's good to refresh things so that you guys definitely don't make this mistake. And for you guys, this is going to be good for you guys that are obviously that date and do all that. And for you guys that don't date and have had enough with women and that's it, you'll just simply enjoy this video and this will just reinforce why you don't do this to begin with, okay? So I'm going to go through this article, guys, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to get a little more detail about some do's and do nots with this type of situation, how best to handle things for those of you guys that date, okay? So it starts off, I have a confession to make. When I was in college, I didn't pay for a single drink when I went out to bars. I usually went out with guy friends who liked to pick up the group tab, or I accepted free drinks from guys who were flirting with me. These weren't my finest moments, and I'm certainly not proud of it. Bullshit. But I'm not the first woman to do this. A recent study shows that many young women participate in foodie calls, going on dates simply for the free food. Guys, in terms of like a bunch of people going out and hanging out at a bar or a club or something like that, any woman that I would say is an 8 or above doesn't have to pay for drinks. There's always going to be a long line of guys that are willing to buy her drinks in the hopes that she likes them enough that they have a shot with her. And they get her phone number, she makes a date with them, or even in their wildest dreams, they actually go home with her that night. And especially if she is a 9 or a 10, not only does she can get free drinks, free food, but also if they're going to, say, a popular bar or club on a Friday or Saturday night, and there's a line down 2 or 3 blocks to get into this place, and people are waiting forever, hours on end, and they may not be allowed in, you're a pretty girl who's definitely a 9 or a 10, walk up to the front with your friends in short skirts, they're going right in. The bouncer's going to let them go right in because they want to obviously have damn good-looking women in their bar or club because that means there'll be a never-ending supply of guys that are going to go in there and spend money, okay? But the women don't have to pay for shit. And guys always fall for it. And by the way, about the whole free food thing, guys, this has happened to me when I was younger. I didn't know any better. I would take girls out and I wanted to impress them, and I would take them to a place I really couldn't afford. This is obviously my college years and all that. And I thought I would do the thing. And imagine that, I never heard from him again sometimes. So I like to talk about these things, tell you what not to do based on things I've learned. And I'm just like you guys. I used to fuck things up just as much, okay? But I learned, and after many, many decades on this planet, I can now share my experiences to help you guys out, okay? But I was just like many of you, okay? I learned the hard way. It says here, what is a foodie call? A foodie call is when there goes the sirens again. A foodie call is when a woman goes on a date with a man for free food. And in a recent study, Azusa Pacific University and UC Merced shows that up to 33% of women participate in this phenomenon. I think that is a low number. I think it is way higher. I've known women, guys, that have openly admitted that they have done this, okay? And a girl I've been friends with for a while now, she's very cool. She's settled down now. She's married and everything like that. And she admits that back in the day she would do that because it was better than being home on a Saturday night or Friday night. And this girl, for things, I like her. She's a good girl. She's a friend of mine. She's definitely insecure, and she was especially insecure back in the day. And so for a woman like that, being home on a Friday or Saturday night makes them feel like shit. So they will deliberately go out on dates with guys they have zero interest in just to get the hell out of the house. No joke. It says here, when asked if she felt guilty about participating in this phenomenon, one woman said, I don't know if I could ever say I used a guy for that, but there are perks to the dating life. Bullshit. Yeah, I mean, women got it made. Again, because there's never ending supply. It's just like the women that have OnlyFans accounts and go on there and they do God knows what and so forth, and they know there's never ending supply of guys that will pay for those memberships. There's never ending supply of clueless guys that will go up and, can I get you a drink, to these pretty girls, and of course they'll take them, but they have no interest in them. It goes on, our community. Another woman said, I don't want to seem like I'm using him, so if I know that I'm not going to see him again, then I'll pay for it, and that will be that. Maybe some women are like this, but a lot, especially when they're younger. Think about this. You got a girl in college, and she obviously doesn't have a whole lot of money. All she needs is a nice outfit. If she's, like I said, 8 or above, there you go. When asked how he felt about the phenomenon, one man answered, when I was dating, I remember it was almost expected and the norm for a man to pay for the bill. I found this interesting because I've split the bill on the majority of first dates that I've been on. Though the majority of my first dates were absolute disasters, I never hesitated when a guy suggested that we should split the bill. At the same time, I wouldn't hesitate if a guy offered to pick up the tab, and she says, note to self, start dating more chivalrous men on first date. Chivalry has nothing to do with what is the modern idea of what chivalry is. It is something completely different. They always like to use the word chivalry. It goes on, is a foodie call wrong? The main question is whether or not engaging in a foodie call is inappropriate. One could argue that's the cost of the opportunity to go on a date with you. Okay, Your Majesty. But it's also easy to argue that you could be using the man or being dishonest. Look, if a woman goes out with a guy on a date with him and she has some interest, she just wants to see, there's some interest there, even if it's just a bare minimum level of attraction, then that's one thing. But if she has zero interest in the guy, zero attraction, then that's not cool. She says, my 2 cents is that going on a date with the pure intention of getting free food without getting to know the guy is wrong because it's rude. You're wasting the guy's time and you're using him. Exactly. If you go on a date and the guy's a jerk but offers to pay for you, let him pay for you. If you like the guy and he offers to pay, it's up to you as whether or not you agree to split or pay the bill. However, I'd recommend splitting or paying on the second date. Hey, in today's world where everything's supposed to be equal, right? Everything's equal and all that, then why not a woman pay? But this is why I say, guys, again, on the first date, make it a drink. And that way then you can pretty much sum up real quickly, guys, if she likes you or not. You can tell if she's there looking at her phone the whole time, she doesn't like you. If she shows up really late and doesn't give a shit, she probably doesn't like you. Or she's testing you. But even then, the more tests that woman will throw your way, the less interested she is. She can have a bare minimum interest, but she'll throw a lot of tests. And if you pass them, then maybe her interest in you will rise a little bit, and you handle yourself right. But that's a different subject. But first drink, one drink, guys, you can be in and out. And whether you like her or not. You may think she's hot, but then you start talking to her and get to know her and think she's a giant pain in the ass, and you regret ever asking her out in the first place, let alone offering to pay for dinner. So that's why one drink. It says the dark side of foodie calls. Though many of us can agree that the premise is humorous, the study also found something sinister about women who are likely to engage in this behavior. According to CBS Philadelphia, researchers in this particular study found that people who were likely to participate in foodie calls were also likely to have negative personality traits, such as narcissism, and more likely to engage in deceitful behavior. Well, that's kind of a given. When you think about it, this shouldn't be a surprise. Engaging in a foodie call is a pretty immature thing to do, and we all know that those who are narcissistic or emotionally immature play games in relationships. Yeah, well, all women will play games. All women will test. Let's make that clear here. And it closes saying, it's no secret that narcissism is on the rise in our society, and that playing games in relationships are more and more common. Who knows, you could go on a foodie call with the intent of getting a free meal and meet a great guy, and shouldn't we want to put our best foot forward when meeting new people? Sounds like a little way out. So, guys, it was a quick article, but I just wanted to show you that, you got a woman here that's admitting it, and she's saying obviously she used to do it, but obviously now she feels bad, but that's easy to say when you're older, right? But, like I said before in the beginning of the video, guys, bottom line is this. For those of you who do dating and relationships and all that, you have a date, one drink. Okay, and if you don't drink alcohol, it could be a tea or a coffee. And if you don't do that at all, you want to go for a walk in the damn park and feed the ducks or the geese, I don't care, do that. But if you're actually going to go to a place, one drink only. And if she tries to get you to meet up for dinner, like let's just say you're meeting for a quick drink after work, the odds are she's going to be hungry. But just basically say, hey, I only have time. Say, I have to go. I got to be somewhere. I got to meet up with friends after, something like that, just to get out of the whole having dinner type of thing. And understand this: if she brings up, if you suggest meeting up for one drink or a couple drinks, if she tries to get you to have you take her out to someplace to get something to eat, don't always take it like, oh, that means she doesn't like me and she just wants to get free food. That's not always the case, okay? Because again, it could be a Tuesday night or Wednesday night after work. You're meeting her in the city or whatever, and she knows she's going to be hungry. She's just like, hey, do you want to get something to eat? Okay, that is not unreasonable. But if you say that you only have time for a drink and she won't do it, then you got to question some things. Or if later on down the road, guys, let's just say you've actually gone on a couple dates. The first date's one drink. It goes well. She's interested. You eventually go on a second date, and by then you have a couple drinks, maybe some appetizers. And then, obviously, at that point, you're getting a little frisky and romantic with her, and that's a good sign, obviously. And then eventually you do go out to eat. You invite her out to somewhere to eat, and she doesn't want to go where you want her to go. She wants you to take to someplace more expensive, obviously, costing you a lot of money. Then you got to question things, okay? Understand that. So you just got to, there are a lot of variables here, but just pay attention and look at the big picture. And a lot of guys, they'll get so hypnotized by the size of her boobs and her great ass and her pretty eyes and face that they're going to like just let that stuff slide thinking, hey, I got her. No, because guys, most guys can't handle a really damn good looking woman, okay? They make it to the point where maybe when they were younger, they didn't have as much success with women, but they started improving themselves and getting a lot of success, focusing on their purpose, and by naturally becoming a more higher value man, higher status guy, they're starting to attract better looking women. A lot of guys, it's very hard because that inner beta male is going to come right out that wants to be a pleaser. Take her out to a great place to eat, open the car door, open the door, pull out the chair, all this stuff, the royalty treatment, and being a yes man and agreeing to everything she says and all that stuff. It's hard for a lot of guys, and you're going to get burned a lot of times if you keep doing that. So, like I said before, be very careful with these dates. Again, in the beginning, one drink only. And here's the other thing, guys, because some people may ask, okay, so you meet up for a drink, but what happens if she grabs the damn menu and starts ordering a bunch of things? It's a fair question. In that particular case, guys, you get there ahead of time because the odds are she's going to show up a few minutes late anyway. Go up and pay for your drink in cash. Okay, don't put your credit card there and have a tab. Pay for it in cash. You got your beer, you got your wine, whatever the hell you drink. Then she shows up, okay? And then if she wants to order something, she can order it, okay? And then you got your drink, it's already paid for. So she decides to order a bunch of appetizers or dinner that you obviously said you weren't going to do. Well, that's on her because then you can finish your drink. Even if you liked her but you got to go, hey, it's on her because she ordered it, but you already paid your bill, so you're not on the hook for having to pay for it. Just little things to be aware of. But again, you got to gauge the situation, and just life experience will help you in that department. But one drink in the beginning. Don't get trapped by this. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.